It is 5:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Meister,
Present.
Councilmember Beltran,
Present.
Councilmember Wyrock. Present. Vice Mayor Carrillo,
Present.
Mayor Flores.
Present. We'll go into oral communications. This is the opportunity to address the city council on any matter scheduled for closed session. Unless additional time is authorized by the council, all commentary shall be limited to 3 months. Is there anyone that would like to come forth for closed session items, oral communications?
Good evening, Ed McCurvey. I wanted to come before you again. I saw in the closed session you have a city manager discussion going on. Just wanted to express my continued concern that we're trying to make a decision on a city manager right before or during an election tonight, and before we have a new council and a new majority that's seated shortly. I thought about this a little bit, and I just want to remind you that the city manager is such an important decision for the city. We want to make sure we get the best city manager. We don't want to narrow our focus or our view or rush this process in any way. The last city manager was here for 17 years. That's 9 election cycles. So it's really important that we get this decision closest to the people. The people are speaking right now. They're in a very important election throughout the land. It's something that we do. It's our custom to make sure we change the leadership. And that should coincide with the large change in the city leadership as a city manager. It's really important as you go into those closed-door sessions that even though you may not think this is political, the people on the outside will see it this way. Make sure that when you're in those closed-door sessions that you're talking about how you can move this to the next council so that it's done in the right way, so that the people don't perceive this as a political decision, and it respects the voice of the people and doesn't usurp the power from the next council that will be seated soon. I sincerely hope that you're working on a way to do that in the closed session, but we don't know because the people on the outside can't see in the closed session. It needs to be a transparent process because it's such an important position that people should know exactly what's going on with every step of that process because it affects so much in our city and for so long. It's really important that that be made public and transparent. It is my opinion to come before you today and express my concern, continued concern, and to try to persuade you to do the right thing and to find a way to make this work for whoever the candidates are so that they're not perceived as political appointments, and to make sure that we do not usurp the power of the next council and take away the voice of the people that are speaking right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. McCurvey. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Please do so now.
Good evening, council members. Stan Green here. I will be taking a seat up there here in a couple months or less. And I just wanted to address, I noticed that it's on the closed session agenda for the city manager. And again, as I stated before, and just for the record, I'm not going to go into any detail, but I just think that the incoming board members, because there's going to be 3, should have a voice in who the next city manager is going to be. Just wanted to state that for the record, be on record, that I would hope that you people would, in discussion, maybe put it on the back burner for a couple of months, because as I said before, I don't think Porterville's going to curl up and die if we don't have a city manager for a month or so. So that's all I have to say. Just wanted to be on record with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Is there anyone else that would like to come forth? Please do so.
Good evening. Josh
Mr. Flowers, would you please remove your cap? Thank you.
Got a haircut just for you today.
Thank you.
So again, Josh Flowers, address on the record. And I just wanted to say that, a couple of things. I know I was going to address item number 9 since we can only talk about those subjects. But the motion was made where we're going to select 3, and then you guys are going to have a discussion about that. I was going to see if you guys would be willing to amend it to the 6th. I thought about it, and a lot of interview panels I've sat on, if each of you just asked one question to the candidate, that's 7 minutes maybe tops. So you're looking at 35 minutes, 3 more. 3 candidates, you're looking at investing an extra hour and a half. The other thing I was going to suggest is to try to kind of echo on what they were just talking about. There's a there is a driving force right now where people want transparency in their government, and we have that here, but it's just perception, right? So the key is that how do we best do that? And so I remember looking back, and I saw that Lindsay, city manager, once was selected, and they did a public interview process so that everybody could see what's going on and they can get a feel for it. I just wanted to bring that forward and let you guys think about that in closed session. It's important, right? So people just want to know what's going on and be a part of that process in any way they can. I echo the idea that we probably should just wait, but I know we got to continue the process, so that part makes sense to me. But as far as selecting, I think whoever gets on the next council should have that opportunity, since they're going to be the ones who are going to work with them. And then lastly, I'm just going to throw this out here. I know it's not quite there, but this is twice, but I recommend that you guys move the council, this meeting back. So I know we had to have it before the 11th, but anytime we do it on a general election or a primary, I think could be circumventing the people who want to be here. Right now, there's lines out the door, 50 people long, and if they wanted to be here, they just can't right now because they want to get their vote in. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Anyone else? Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forth? Please do so now for closed session.
My name is Jesse Vasquez, like I said, retired CO, retired veteran. Like I said, I'm talking to Ms. Carrillo. I voted for you, and all I'm asking in return is that regarding the city manager, that you guys hold off, wait till the new guys come in, because you, Ms. Carrillo, and Ms. Flores are not going to be accountable for the city manager. And like I said, I would not be here today if the city manager before wasn't harassing me. You know, I wouldn't be here complaining, but you guys want to wake me up and get me out of my house and out of my comfort, so I'm going to come here and I'm asking for I asked you, Kelly, to help me, and you didn't, which is fine, okay? You did everything for the casino. All I'm asking in return is do something for the city. Do something for me. I voted for you. All I'm saying is just wait on the vote. Wait on the vote. You guys are not going to be here to be accountable for them, okay? That's so simple. That's the same with you, Beltran. You voted yes. You know, I know a lot of your family members. They know us, and I'm asking you to wait. Wait till the new city council comes in, and then you guys can have a meeting and see who you guys want. The city manager is a big position, and it needs to be good. Not like the last one. All kinds of corruption going on. Ain't nobody accounted for that. But there will be a reckoning. Like I said, the time's coming. I'm just writing stuff down. And nobody's accountable for it. None of your city people are accountable for here. So I'm just asking, like I said, you two are not going to be here. I would appreciate it if you could just wait on the vote. It doesn't hurt. You can wait on the city manager. City manager's a good position. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Please do so now.
Good evening, council members. My question to you is, why can't you wait?
I'm going to ask you, please state your name for the
Oh,
record.
I'm sorry, AJ Rivas, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding me, thank you. I'm just asking, why can't you wait to vote on this? Why can't you allow the next council members to select the next city manager? I mean, I think it would be professional courtesy to do that. I know you have the power to do in closed session what you guys want to do. I get it. One day, hopefully, by the end of tonight, I'll be able to make those decisions also. But you also got to remember, you were voted in by the city, by the constituents, by the stakeholders. So you're responsible to what you're doing. You know, I've heard a lot of stuff about the previous city manager, and it wasn't good. My thing is, why can't we elect another city manager that has a vision, has a purpose, so we can drive this town into a positive role, make more decisions for the people, not for individuals. This ain't a place where you can hook up the friend and whoever when you're leaving office. This is serious stuff where we need to get together and work together in order to elect a good city manager. a positive manager. And with that, you know, I don't understand why you're pushing the issue so fast. Maybe because you're leaving, maybe because some of you ain't coming back, but he's right. You ain't gonna be responsible for what you do tonight. You know, you've sat up there for a long time and making some hard decisions. Well, this is a hard decision for you to make. You should make a good decision and just hold off on it for the next city council members. Because I think under professional courtesy, I think we deserve that. And not just for us, but for the city within itself. You owe it to them, not to me or to anybody else, but to them, because they elected you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Is there anyone else? Do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. And we'll now go into city council closed session items.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do have 9 items for you this evening on closed session. The first is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8, conference with real property negotiators, properties, APN 253-160-064, 065, 068, 069, 70, and then 261-125-018, 19, and 20. Agency negotiator Patrice Hildreth and Jason Ridenauer, negotiating parties, City of Porterville, and James Gregory Shelton, under negotiations, terms, and price. Number 2 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8, conference with real property negotiators, property, Porterville Municipal Airport, Lot 9, agency negotiator Julia Liu, negotiating party, City of Porterville, and Aero Falcon Industries, under negotiation, terms, and price. Number 3 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.95, liability claim, claimant Cam Fook Ithathong, agency claimed against, City of Porterville. Number 4 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Pastor Isabel Vela versus Porterville Police Department, Tulare County Superior Court Case, PCU 311765. Number 5 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Hill International, Inc. versus City of Porterville, Tulare County Superior Court Case Number PCU 309701. 6th is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, City of Porterville versus Tulare County Regional Transit Agency and Abul Hassan, Tulare County Superior Court Case VCU 312913. Number 7 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation, 5 cases in which facts are not yet known to potential plaintiffs. Number 8 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, initiation of litigation, 2 cases, and lastly, Government Code Section 54957, public employment, city manager.
Thank you. It is 5:43. We will now go into closed session.
I just can you ever convince Juliana to stop making
It is 6:36. We will reconvene open session and report on reportable action taken in closed session.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item on item number 3, the claim of Kamfuk Ithafong. On a motion by Councilmember Meister, seconded by Mayor Flores, and a 5-0 vote, that claim was denied. Thank you.
Thank you. I invite you to please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Wyrock, and to remain standing for an invocation or moment of silence.
Thank you. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there anyone from the audience like to come forward and do the invocation? If not, please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. We will now go into the presentation for the Employee of the Month for Drayton Wood. Councilmember Beltran. Is Drayton here? Please come forward.
We are thrilled to announce Drayton Wood as the City of Porterville Employee of the Month for November 2024. Drayton began his journey with the city in the finance department as an account clerk in the utilities division, and through his hard work and dedication has advanced to the role of administrative aide in the IT division. His exceptional problem-solving skills and commitment to excellence has set a high standard across the IT team. Drayton has consistently delivered vital IT support, significantly enhancing the performance and reliability of computer systems at City Hall, the police department, the fire department, and field services. His technical expertise has been crucial in setting up ArcGIS Enterprise, researching and implementing domain-based distributed file systems to ensure redundant access to shared folders, and spearheading and development of a paperless process for animal services. In addition to his technical abilities, Drayton's leadership and collaborative spirit shine through. He has worked closely with his colleagues to implement a new multi-factor authentication system, Duo, for the police department and other city staff, boosting security across departments. His attention to detail and positive attitude are invaluable assets to the IT division. Always willing to lend a helping hand to IT staff, coworkers, and development and department heads, Drayton exemplifies the core values and reliability, teamwork, and integrity that the city of Porterville holds dear. A proud native of Porterville, Drayton is also a Marine Corps veteran and recently earned his Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. Outside of work, he enjoys video games, weightlifting, hiking, and spending quality time with his wife, Chelsea, and their dog, Delilah. We are honored to recognize Drayton Wood for his outstanding contribution to the IT division in the finance department. His dedication and expertise has left a lasting impression, and we look forward to many more achievements together. Congratulations, Drayton Wood.
Drayton, would you like to say something? You were sneaking away. You thought you were going to get away with it.
He does with his fingers on the keyboard.
I just want to say thank you to both my bosses, Jamie and Robert, for the nomination and for being the great bosses that they are. And then thank you to my coworkers who aren't here. They do a lot of hard work in the IT department too, and they could have just as easily been up here. And then lastly, thank you to my wife and my family for all their support.
Congratulations. Now we'll go into the Outstanding Business Honoree. I see Jeff on the screen.
All right. Since
Still see
opening
Jeff
its
on
doors
this.
in 1998, Pizza Factory has become a beloved fixture in Porterville, providing more than just great food. Since 2007, under the ownership of Chris and Michelle Nursery, along with their partners Scott and Chanel Gammon, Pizza Factory has evolved into a hub for community connection and support, enriching the lives of residents for over 18 years. One of Pizza Factory's standout contributions to the local economy is its focus on job creation. Currently employing 22 high school and college students, the restaurant provides many young people with their first job, offering them the chance to earn income while gaining valuable work experience. Employees learn essential life skills such as responsibility, time management, and customer service, skills that will serve them well into their future careers. The mentorship environment at Pizza Factory allows seasoned staff to give these young employees, fostering personal and professional growth within the team. Their diverse menu features a delicious selection of food, including pizza, pasta, and salads. In addition to creating job opportunities, Pizza Factory plays a vital role in community engagement by providing a welcoming venue for various local events. With a spacious meeting room and an array of arcade games, the restaurant has become a go-to spot for hosting meetings, parties, and celebrations. This not only brings people together, but also strengthens the fabric of the community by creating a space where residents can gather and connect. Pizza Factory is also deeply committed to charitable initiatives. The restaurant has been a long-standing supporter of Relay for Life, regularly providing pizzas to participants throughout the event, including late-night deliveries, to keep the teams energized. Additionally, Pizza Factory is involved in Toys for Tots and Backpack for Kids, collecting and donating toys, backpacks, and school supplies to local children in need. These efforts make a significant impact, particularly during the holiday season and at the start of the school year, ensuring that families in need receive the support they deserve. Pizza Factory also works closely with local schools, churches, local sports teams, and nonprofits by offering discounts for events, fundraisers, hosting fundraising events, providing pizza, and direct donations to support the various organizations, further demonstrating their commitment to helping those in need. The City of Porterville is recognizing not just their culinary excellence, but their deep, unwavering commitment to the community by providing job opportunities, supporting charitable causes, and creating a space for connection. Pizza Factory continues to play a vital role in Porterville's growth and well-being. Their outstanding contributions make Porterville a stronger, more connected, and thriving community. Please join us in honoring Pizza Factory as the 2024 Outstanding Business Honoree.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course, congratulations. And you thought code enforcement was going to be out there, huh? Congratulations. Please,
Use the mic or speak this way.
whichever way you, oh, do you want a picture? Please. Let's do this, okay. Let me, we can do this. Here, I'm giving it to somebody.
Someone has to take it. Hold on, I'm gonna get an angle shot here. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I think I got it.
You got it. So I'm going to use my outside voice. I'm a PE teacher during the day, so I think this will work. We just want to say thank you. We know that as an organization here that it has been a true blessing, and we are blessed people to be able to serve our community. Most of us grew up here in this community, went to school here, teach here in this community, and to be able to serve those people is just an awesome experience. And one of the biggest highlights of ours is to be able to give employees jobs and to see these young people come in
and learn and grow and know that it's an entry job and move on. I was just thinking about today at work, somebody who teaches with me was there working with us when we first took over. And now I see her with a teaching job. And these people will come, they'll stay, they'll learn, and they go on and get better jobs and earn a living for their families, and it's just a true blessing for us. So we just like to thank everybody that's been involved for a person like this for us. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Okay, we will now move on into oral communications. This is the opportunity to address the council on any matter of interest, whether on the agenda or not. Please address all items not scheduled for public hearing at this time. Unless additional time is authorized by the council, all commentary shall be limited to 3 minutes. You'll be asked to please state your name, city of residence for the record. If you are here for the public hearings number 26 and 27, please hold your comments. When those items come up on the agenda, you will be given the opportunity to speak at that time, and we will continue to adhere to the 3-minute per speaker time period. Thank you. If there's anybody that would like to come forward, please do so.
I'm Kathleen Harris, commonly known as Cat Harris, and I'm on the Animal Control Commission, and we just recently had a meeting on October 24th. We had 3 people were there, so we had a quorum. Lieutenant Ortiz and Erica Giron were both there. The shelter stats that we were given were excellent. Erica does such a wonderful job on those, and she was able to answer a lot of questions that we had concerning the shelter. Under our scheduled matters, we had 2 items. One was asking that the posts that are made by animal, PVAC, include the information about the veteran mandate waiving their adoption fees, because it's not out there, people don't know. And we also were talking about the breeding and the pet overpopulation issues. They're out of control, and they're not abiding by our ordinances that have requirements for breeding. So it was suggested that we possibly have a PA in the newspaper concerning both of these items. One is to get the information out there for the veterans, and the other is to remind people that we do have an ordinance concerning breeding. The other 2 things is we had been approached by some people about the feeding of feral cats, and people had been under the impression that we had an ordinance that disallowed the feeding of these animals, and we don't. So we did bring that to everyone's attention, that we do not have that. The question that we also had was, where is the signage that was at Lindsay Shelter that Augie had made many years ago, because no one knew where it is, and we found out that that one was actually in possession of the shelter. So we're happy with that. And that was all we had to really talk about, and the meeting adjourned at 6:41.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
that update. It's appreciated. Is there anyone else that would like to come forth under oral communications? Please do so.
Brock Neely, address on record. I participated this year for the first time in the trunk or treat handing out candy, and it was a wonderful time until one of your own showed up wearing a Biden mask, carrying a Trump Vance sign, politicizing a children's event. He has no sense of propriety or ethics or anything. That's probably why he's not even here, because he knew I was probably going to talk about it. But it was disgusting. But yet he decries how the gay community is the one grooming kids. Think of that. People need to think of that when they cast their ballot today. We don't want 3 more like that, 2 more like him on that council. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Please do so.
strong man. Felipe Martinez, everything on record? You gotta introduce yourself.
Maria Padilla Leon, 1682 West River Avenue.
Terry Villarreal, Porterville.
Richard Villarreal, Porterville.
Yolanda Bocanegra from Terabella.
I was gonna sing, and we're the Exchange Club. Gotta make people laugh. Good evening, Madam Mayor, distinguished council members, and entire city staff. Thank you for allowing Ms. Amy Graybell, Director Donnie Moore to work with the club in designing the Veterans Day Parade banner. We would appreciate it if the council would allow us to show the banner on the screen, but unfortunately, it couldn't be shown. But I think you were
We have
given.
copies.
Okay.
We have copies.
Given
Printed
copies?
copies.
So everybody could see it, but it didn't happen. Now, because that's not in my notes, okay? Now it is our pleasure to present said banner to the city as the inauguration banner on the newly installed banner poles on Main Street. It is a project we started together a couple of years ago. In closing, it is our honor to present this beautiful banner to the city of Porterville, citizens, and all in the community.
This is a beautiful banner, and thank you for the work that has gone in it. I don't want to get it by myself. Donnie, you come help me.
It's very heavy.
You're trying to get a photo of the banner? It's 40 feet, so I
It's
don't
40
think.
feet.
It's 40 feet, okay, let me see if I can go around.
Wait, oh, you can send me a contributed photo. Yeah, you can send me a contributed photo. Okay, all right.
We'll call you when they put it up. So you can- Donnie? It's yours, Donnie.
Don't fall, bro. Did you hear that? They're gonna put you in the bucket so you can put it up there. The one that's laughing?
He's going to help me. We're going to get the tallest council member up there.
Okay.
I know, you're holding this. I'm holding this.
He's holding the door.
Almost like Abbott and Costello was just.
So we're done.
Just let it.
Tomorrow, it's going up tomorrow. Okay.
And just on a side note, Donnie, when you all take it down, roll it up so it doesn't create creases and breaks, and you can use it. And the other recommendation is that you alternate, because it's right and left, so that way when the sun beats on one side, it'll wait a whole year and beat on the other side, okay? So
Thank
anyway,
you very much.
so that's on behalf of the Porterville Exchange Club, and thank you all very much, and we'll see what other projects we can work on to beautify our city. Thank you.
Okay. Please give this to Sarah, and that's what she'll be getting electronically.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll now go into the reports. This is the time for all committee, commission, board reports, subcommittee reports, and staff informational items. Oh, I apologize. Thank you. Any other oral communications? I'm ready to get this meeting going. Any on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, we're moving right along. Okay. Staff informational reports.
Yes, Your Honor, we do have the first quarter fiscal year 24-25 quarterly reports on, and we're happy to answer any questions or present.
Council has had time to look at them. I have one correction on number 3, on the city council member appointments attendance quarterly. On the Tulare County Association of Governments, July 15 of 24, it says absence. There wasn't even a meeting. So That just needs to be
We'll,
corrected.
we'll make that revision.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move in right along then. We'll now go into the consent calendar. All consent calendar items are considered routine and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these matters unless a request is made, in which event the item will be removed from the consent calendar. All items removed from the consent calendar for further discussion will be heard at the end of scheduled matters. Council, we have items 1 through 25. How do you wish to proceed?
I'll make a motion if there's no issues to approve items 1 through 25 on the consent calendar.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. No further discussion. Call for the vote. Passes unanimous 4-0. We're moving on to the public hearings. Number 26.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do have two public hearings before you this evening. The first is considering establishment of fees associated with the Main Street Banner Program, and Mr. Moore will be presenting this item.
Thank you, Ms. Hildreth, Honorable Mayor, and members of the council. The City of Porterville plans to utilize the banner poles on Main Street donated by the Porterville Exchange Club, as we just heard, at the corner of Main Street and Cleveland Avenue to advertise events and/or programs that are held in Porterville. The city may, at its discretion, issue a banner permit to an individual or entity granting permission to temporarily occupy the designated banner location for the purpose of providing notice to residents and visitors about city-sponsored or city-funded special events open to the public and that are limited to non-commercial, non-political, and of a non-religious nature. Banners on city property poles must be approved, scheduled, and coordinated by the city. On August 20th, 2024, City Council approved a policy on the exhibition of federal, state, and city flags and banners from city buildings and facilities, all occasions. Some of the items included in Section C, street flags and banners, are applicants must submit a completed banner permit application at least 90 days prior to the requested installation date. A completed banner design must be submitted at the time of application. Banners cannot be hung more than 14 days prior to the event. And once the banner permit is approved, the applicant must arrange for the production of the banner designed to the required specifications. Consistent with various city permit applications, it is recommended a permit application processing fee be implemented and paid at the time of the application submittal, with the fee being $20. One other element of the application process is that the applicant must designate a licensed contractor to install and remove the banner following guidelines provided by the city, or remit payment for those services to be provided by the city. In order to cover the cost of 2 full-time city employees to provide installation and removal services using a bucket truck, it is recommended that a fee of $300 be established. The Parks and Leisure Services Commission, at its meeting on October 3rd, 2024, voted unanimously to recommend the application permit fee of $20 and the banner installation removal services fee of $300. It's staff recommendation that the City Council conduct a public hearing to solicit comment on the proposed Main Street over the street banner fees, and 2, consider adoption of the draft resolution approving the new Main Street over the street applicant permit processing fee of $20 and installation removal fee of $300 if performed by city staff. That concludes the staff report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I appreciate the report. I am going to go ahead. It is 7 o'clock. I will open up the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come forth on this item? Do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. It is still 7 o'clock, and I will close the public hearing. Bringing it to council, how do you wish to proceed? Any questions, concerns? Please.
So when there's like a weather event coming, would there'd be a requirement for them to come out and make sure that it's not going to blow down or whatever, it's going to be in good shape? Okay.
It was produced taking all that into consideration. There's like wind slits and all different things,
I
yes.
noticed those. And then is there going to be a permanent cable across there?
Guide
that
wire.
Will they put rollers on their banner or whatever, then it just is tied off to the?
Attaches to the guide wire.
Okay. That was my only question. Thank you, Mayor.
I appreciate that. How does council wish to proceed?
make a motion to accept items was 1 and 2 as read.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, we have a second, no further discussion. I'm going to call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next public hearing before you is the consideration of amendment to Series 200 of the Porterville Development Ordinance for Family Healthcare Network, and Ms. Calderon will present.
Good evening, everyone. I have asked Mr. O'Neill to present, however, he is on Zoom instead of in person today. So, Mr. O'Neill.
Thank you, Ms. Calderon. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. Family Healthcare Network has proposed to develop a parking lot on a piece of property that they've acquired off the site of their main facility in the southwest part of town. The proposed project site is on the southwest corner of State Route 190 and South Prospect Street. It's outside the city limits. It's inside the urban development boundary. It has a general plan land use designation of low-density residential, and it's pre-zoned as RS1, which is our very low-density residential zone. So the use that's being proposed is not permitted within the RS1 zone district. So in order to facilitate this, the applicant has proposed a text amendment to Series 200 of the development ordinance that would allow off-site parking in residential zones under limited circumstances and subject to a conditional use permit. Residential zones obviously exist to support primarily residential uses, but they also allow for limited land uses that are appropriate and complementary to residential development. As indicated in Table 201.02, a number of non-residential uses are currently allowed in residential zones, subject to various permitting processes. In order to maintain a sufficient amount of residential land for actual residential uses, while still accommodating the infrequent occasions where non-residential use might find itself needing additional parking, the proposal is to amend the text of Section 201.02 and Table 201.02 to allow parking, public or private, as a conditionally permitted use in the city's residential zone districts, with specific limitations that the parking use has to be in conjunction with an existing public, institutional, or medical use, and that no residential structure or use can be removed or modified to accommodate the parking. So it essentially has to be a vacant lot. Any parking would be subject to Sections 304.05 and 304.10 of the development ordinance as they relate to the improvement and maintenance of parking areas. Further, it should be noted this would not be in the text of the ordinance itself, but a site would be precluded from supporting an off-site parking lot if it is identified on the city's sites inventory for the housing element, which this particular site is not. So in the event that that does happen, or in the event that a site is identified and it is part of the city's regional housing needs allocation site inventory, it is not eligible to be used under this proposed ordinance change. The environmental coordinator has made a determination that this project would be exempt, this project being the zoning text amendment, would be exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under the common sense exemption under guideline section 15061B3. If this ordinance is approved, then ultimately the applicant would submit for the conditional use permit and annexation, which would be brought back to City Council for its consideration. So that concludes staff's report. So we'd be happy to field any questions from the council, and would request that the mayor opens this hearing to the public, and then ask the council for action to adopt the draft ordinance as attached. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that report. It is 7:06. I will open up the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come forth on this item? Do we have anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
It is 7:06. I will close the public hearing and bring it to council. Did you have any questions or comment to this regard on this one item? How do you wish to proceed? Please, go ahead.
Thank you for reviewing this with me today. This afternoon, I looked a little further into it, and don't we typically, I mean, haven't we in the past looked at a business location and changed its zoning to match their use in that location, if they're expanding their use. And so if we're not doing that here, but we are taking a residential zoning lot and we're bringing that into a different, we're amending it, instead of modifying a residential lot to accommodate its parking use, shouldn't we rezone the business, or is the business already in a different zone?
So, Your Honor, yes, so the business is already in a different zone, it's on a separate parcel. State law limits the ability to change the zoning of residential zoning. And this is an ability to allow for the family healthcare network and any use of that medical use there to be able to have, expand their parking in such a way that would be allowed.
I like the way it's worded so that each time that would come before the city in the future, it takes a separate action by the council. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Correct, and one thing to note, as the city planner stated, parcels that were allocated in our housing numbers would not be appropriate to be used for this and not be allowed.
Thank you. With that, I'd like to, if there's no other questions, I'll make a motion that, well, we already had the public hearing, that we find the project exempt from CEQA, under the CEQA guidelines, and we consider the draft ordinance amending Series 200 of the Porterville Development Ordinance regarding off-site parking in residential zone districts, and to give a first reading by title only, and order the ordinance to print.
We have a motion. I'll second it. No further discussion. Call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 4-0. Thank you.
Can I do I'll just read by title only?
Please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Porterville amending Series 200, Section 201.02 of the Porterville Development Ordinance regarding residential zone districts.
Thank you. We'll now move into scheduled matters.
Thank you, Your Honor. We do have two before you this evening. The first is authorization to adopt the Parks Master Plan, and Mr. Sanchez, with Mr. Moore assisting as needed, will be presenting.
Thank you, Ms. Hildreth. Mayors and members of council, at its meeting on June 6, 2023, the City Council authorized the consultant services contract with QK Inc. for the development of a Parks Master Plan, which included the preparation of a draft Parks Development Impact Fee and Quimby Act study. This document will provide guidance and direction for the future design of those facilities for the next 10 to 15 years. The process for developing the draft Parks Master Plan included an inventory and walk-in audit of all existing park facilities, interviews with stakeholders, 2 community workshops with related surveys, review of the draft Parks Master Plan by city staff and Parks and Leisure Services Commission, and a presentation of the final draft Parks Master Plan to the City Council before publishing it to receive public comment. The 30-day window for public comment regarding the draft was provided from March 20th, 2024 through April 19th, 2024. Some of the comments received related to the Tulip River Parkway and the desire to see its expansion, more native gardens, more park-like amenities such as a playground and bathroom. The implementation policies of the draft under section PSCF 115 covers a need to continue to support the expansion and improvements to the Tulip River Parkway. Excuse me. Additional comments included concerns with how some of the different parks were classified and the inclusion of planned future improvements in the city's park inventory. Staff reviewed these comments and found the classifications of each of the parks was appropriate. During the review, they also found it appropriate to include the planned future improvements, as they are all grant-funded projects that must be developed within a required time frame. Staff respectfully request that the City Council approve the Parks Master Plan as proposed and adopt the associated resolution. We're available for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Councilmember Beltran, do you have any questions?
No, more of a just comment. I know it's been several years since something like this had been done, and in learning, we'll have a continued discussion as far as the
how this is gonna be paid for, I guess, later in the near future. But just want to encourage the community to take a look at the efforts being done, and I guess it's literally the plan of what our parks will look like and what the efforts the city is going to make our community, I believe healthier, beautification. There's a lot of aspects, a lot of things this touches on. And so it was great to look through it very thoroughly. And it's just a guideline again to where our community is going to look over the next 15 to 20 years. It's just, it was really impressive. So it was a lot of data, but it's just a basic guide for us to get there. So I just appreciate all the effort from QK and staff in putting this together. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Wyrock, any comment,
I love that they took a look at our 2030 general plan and are buttoning that up nicely, blending elements of this Parks Master Plan into that. We'll have population growth that may or may not meet these numbers. We may or may not build as many parks as they are recommending because of population. I love the information that they shared with us on how to find funding opportunities. I really have no other comments other than to say it's a great effort on behalf of our staff and this contractor to put together such a good proposal, and I'm hoping it can be very transparent on our city website, so to Councilmember Beltran's point, people can become more and more familiar with it. It's full of a lot of great things. It's a great guideline for our future. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, any comment?
Just, I appreciate that we've received so much information, the presentation and then the information here. I like the recommendations that Javier read earlier. I don't have any other comments or questions regarding this.
Thank you. I appreciate everything that has been brought forth to the table. It's been a lot of work, and if there's no other discussion, I'm going to make the motion that we approve the Park Master Plan as proposed and approve the draft resolution authorizing the adoption of the master plan.
A second.
We have a motion, a second, no further discussion. Call for the vote. Passes unanimous, 4-0. Thank you. We'll move on into 29. Vice Mayor, you may have conflict.
Yes, I'm going to step out for a perception of a conflict here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Item 29 is the consideration of sponsorship of the 2024 Tule River Tribe Powwow, scheduled for November 7th through 11th, and Mr. Ridenhour will be presenting this item.
Thank you, Ms. Hildreth, Honorable Mayor and City Council. The Tule River Tribe has requested the city consider sponsorship of its upcoming annual Tule River Tribe Powwow, scheduled to take place on November 7th through the 11th at the Eagle Mountain Casino. Sponsorship levels for the event are defined as levels of Go Bigfoot, which is $25,000 and up, Go Mountain Lion, which is $15,000 and up, Go Eagle, which is $10,000 and up, Go Wolf, which is $5,000 and up, and Go Bear, which is between $0 and $4,999. The city was a sponsor of the last year's powwow event at the level of $5,000. The city and tribe have had a rich history of co-sponsoring each other's important community events, including Freedom Fest in prior years. At the October 1st, 2024 City Council meeting, the council took action to approve the powwow as a civic event, which included permitting for overnight camping at the sports complex. Staff's recommendation is that the City Council consider the sponsorship of the 2024 Tule River Powwow, and staff's available for questions.
Thank you very much for the report, because this has been a partnership that the City of Porterville and the Tule River Tribe has had. So, Council, how do you wish to proceed?
I would make a motion to approve our sponsorship at the, I think it's the Go Wolf, the $5,000, which is in standard of what we've been doing. To your comment, Madam Mayor, I believe I spoke with a tribal member recently,
and asking like, how big is this event, knowing this would be on our agenda. And they, last year had over 200 dancers throughout the state and from or throughout our state and some traveling from out of state. So it's great to let them know where Porterville is and maybe the future visits.
Of course, thank you. Councilmember Wyrock?
I was just wondering if we were to go up to like the eagle, mountain lion, or the Bigfoot, I'm not suggesting we go all that way, is there additional opportunities that our city can present to all of these people coming in that might bring us more businesses, more, I know it's not a marketing thing for us, but it's more of a celebration. So I was wondering if there's services that come with additional sponsorship, or if I can say it like that.
So in reviewing the seeking sponsorship flyer that the city received, it states that all sponsors will receive recognition multiple times displayed on a banner through the duration of the powwow social media updates, and thank you posts recognizing the powwow's program, and announced verbally throughout the duration. With each of the levels, it is not indicated on the flyer that was provided as the request of what the return would be for each sponsorship level.
Okay. Well, maybe in the future, there could be an opportunity to where certain people that they know that are coming in that manage or sit on boards in different parts of our state could maybe be introduced to a business like Reimers, or, you know, up Three Rivers, or even here in town for some chocolate, or whatever the case may be, touring the fire facility, learn about the training opportunities. Maybe we get a bunch of firefighters here to train here and cut us a check. So I would just be curious in the future if they might consider something like that. Nothing else, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. I am going to make the motion that we continue at the.
I think you just needed a
Yes.
second.
Oh,
we need a
at the
second.
okay, then I'll second the 5,000. Sorry, I'm just trying, looking at the time. Who's got the time today? Okay, we have motion and a second, no further discussion, call for the vote. Passes 3-0. Moving right along. We need the vice mayor back in. She doesn't have her key. Oh, my gosh. Okay, we will now move into the AB 1234 reports. The first one, pursuant to Government Code 53-32.3. The first one, the Tulare County Task Force on Homelessness. There is nothing to report because we were headed to the League of Cities, so we did not make it and excused ourselves from that meeting. The Tulare County Association of Governments of October 21. Deputy City Manager, Mr. Reidenauer, and I attended the meeting. There were no public comments. This meeting was productive. It went by fast. I'm only going to report out and put an emphasis on the two items that were on the transportation action discussion items, the portion of that agenda. They pertain to Porterville. Both of these items were action items and were taken as one motion. The first was the adoption of resolution to approve the TDA claim for the city of Porterville for the fiscal year 2024-25. The claim amendment that was submitted by and for the city of Porterville was for the LTF funds for a total of $3,620,347.50. The STA, the State Transit Assistance, was $812,000 plus, and then State of Good Repair, $113,600. The recommendation to approve the claim as presented. The second was the adoption of resolution, the approval of the UZA 5307 split letter for submittal to Federal Transit, the FTA. In this, TCAG staff had consulted with both the City of Porterville staff and the TCRTA to complete a June FTIP amendment that enabled TCRTA funds for 23-24 operations in Porterville. The draft split and concurrence letters for this grant application were shared with both the City of Porterville and TCRTA. It is the interest of TCAG and its member agencies to finalize the split and concurrence letters to enable the timely obligation of FTA funds. The split letter for Porterville covering fiscal years 2019 to 23. The adoption of the resolution approving the issuance of the split letter for these 5307 funds apportioned to Porterville in the fiscal years, and to allow the TCAG Executive Director to make technical changes as needed. The motion was made by Supervisor Townsend, second by Councilmember Riddle, which was a unanimous approval by the members present. I am proud to say that these two items were an accomplishment for Porterville. I want to thank staff for their diligence in this process and to get us here. I mean, we're still a work in progress, but this is something I'm very proud of. For the new TCAG board representatives, when the board does the reorganization, the board retreat is slated for May the 1st, 2025, and it will be at St. Anthony's. The next meeting is scheduled for Monday, December the 9th at the Tulare Ag Auditorium. It will begin with a workshop at 11:30. Moving right along, the Tulare County Economic Development Department. Claudia Calderon, thank you so much for attending on our behalf, and thank you for your notes. The meeting was held on October the 23rd. There was a presentation by Christopher Greer, who's the Ag Commissioner, Tulare County. He presented information. However, that link can be sent to all council members so that you can have it. The Project Client Services Report, they're currently managing 35 active files. The most active projects this month was an airport hangar construction company seeking airports to build and lease hangars. The other one was a developer seeking incentive information for manufacturing facility interests. It is confirmed the 2025 Economic Summit will be at the Visalia Convention Center. The tickets are now on sale at Eventbrite with sponsorship opportunities. The TCEDC attended the Tulare County WIP Innovators by Design event on October the 3rd. The next meeting is scheduled for December the 4th at 8 a.m. The November 2024 and December 2024 meetings are combined as they fall on holidays. That concludes this report. Moving right along. It is now time for oral communications. Is there anyone that would like to come forth under oral communications? Please do so. No? Okay. Then is there anyone on virtually?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll now move on to other matters. Councilmember Beltran.
Just wanted to recognize again Pizza Factory. It's knowing it's one of the few businesses in our community that still hires high school students. Fast food and a lot of the big box stores don't hire under 18, so it's really neat for, again, a small town or local business like that to encourage young adults and help them in their employment opportunities. So just want to recognize them again for that. Other than that, it was glad we had a pretty uneventful Halloween. There was no chaos out there, and glad everybody was safe. And just encourage, I know there's only about 30 minutes left for people to get to the polling stations, make your vote, and for those who are mail-in ballots, make sure they're postmarked before midnight. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Wyrock.
Yeah, I like going into Pizza Factory and I can just almost sit down at a booth and the pizza shows up. They don't even have to give us a number or ask us what our order is. Great team of people in there, really care about the people. The quarterly reports were excellent to see. I know we just went through them on the consent calendar, but we're filling potholes, we're paving, we're taking care of our roads, and that's great to see. And all of the committees that people are attending, it's appreciated, time out of their busy schedules. I'd like to also just take a moment to recognize the partners that have chose to bid into the city opportunities. There are many of them in the consent calendar. There is every time we come to a meeting. But tonight, we really saw a great product provided by QK on our Parks Master Plan. And if you haven't seen it, I just really encourage everybody to take a look at it. Take your time going through it. There'll be more information coming to the city, to our residents over the coming years, and just applaud all of these partners that help us build a great city. The Veterans Day Run is coming up. Thank the staff for helping to set it up and take it down so timely. It's nice to see the Navigation Center expansion with the additional services. It's just really, really good. And one final thing is the stewardship of city resources and the money. We've done a good job over the years to put away money for those rainy days, and those rainy days would come. And tonight's election night, and we've heard a lot about a new council coming up, and the stewardship of those funds is a duty of the council to make sure that staff has all the guidelines they need to do it right, and we've done it well. We have a great credit rating, and I'm sure we'll continue to, staff will continue to influence the council on sound investment decisions so that we can continue to put away the money we might need for the rainy days that do come. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Just wanted to also acknowledge tonight the Employee of the Month, Drayton Wood, IT. And so really important, and I love when we get to hear all the information about their background and things that they've accomplished. So congratulations again. Also to the outstanding business. We all love Pizza Factory, so congratulations to them. Just looking forward to the Veterans Run and Parade this year, and also thank you to the Exchange Club for partnering with the city on the banner. I think it's going to be beautiful having that. And the last thing, I always try to talk about positive things, but I can't not mention this. So there was an ignorant or inaccurate comment tonight, and it was geared towards me, and I want to say something because of the perception that's being put out there of myself as a vice mayor and a council member, that you're speaking about myself serving, but also the tribes, entities, the casino, to say that there was decisions made by me to benefit the casino or the tribe. And that's going to be huge, that comment. That's inaccurate, that's not true, and the entire 4 years that I've been on here, I haven't even been able to support anything that the tribe has been involved in, or the casino. So I just want to make that public comment because that public comment was made here tonight. That's all.
I want to say thank you, and I appreciate Vice Mayor's comment to the casino because she has excused herself in all her tenure on council on anything that would be a potential conflict or a direct conflict of interest. She has not participated in any of those decisions that have been made. Those have been made by those of us who are seated with her exclusion. I want to give a shout out to Eileen Calderon. First of all, I want to offer my condolences to her because her brother just recently passed away, and to the family. But this was a situation where somebody let me know that they came to the window, and she was very helpful in what they were wanting to do, and just appreciated her warmth. And I shared with them that she just recently lost her brother, but the fact that she went far and beyond to assist them and to help them with this additional stress. And they brought to the table something that was a little, well, we've not done it before, but we'll be more than happy to do it. So they really did appreciate that. I also want to say thank you to Fernando. He was also very helpful in helping a member of the community to get a project done. And when we hear that and it's freely shared, it's important to express it publicly because it did happen. And that's what makes people want to come back. And another person that also just freely does and does not hesitate to ask questions when in doubt is Lori Halleck. I can only say that it's a part of her learning process that when you ask for help, it's not a sign of weakness. It is probably one of the most courageous things that a person can do. I want to go back, as you remembered, when I publicly announced that I was not going to seek re-election, I made that official statement here on the dais. And what I had said at that time, and I'm going to reiterate it once again, that I wanted to encourage the candidates to form their committees, to develop a platform on identified areas for growth, and to actively campaign for the nonpartisan elected positions, that I urge them to learn the organizational structure of the city charter that has a city manager where the council directly hires only 2 positions. And I especially urge candidates to campaign with dignity, pride in their community, and non-toxic language, no toxicity. I also said at that time, and I will reiterate, because I am proud of the many accomplishments of our city government, the numerous projects, the consistent work of promoting and supporting businesses, the overall public safety, as well as the infrastructure of the city, water, sewer, roads, lighting, curbs, and communication services. I want to thank the city of Porterville, its staff, and everyone involved. And once again, tonight is election night, and whoever gets seated, I wish them the best. With that being said, when people say there's nothing to do, several of us, I was the only council member that journeyed with city staff to the League of Cities from October the 16th through the 18th, and they make me proud. I was able, we were going to many different conference sessions, but the fact that Porterville was very well represented, they covered a lot of areas. And the sessions that I attended with the emphasis on the homeless population, it makes me proud that we are further ahead when we started back in 2020. So thank you to those who participated. On October the 23rd, Mr. Tree, Mr. Ridenour, and I went to Tulare for the California Transportation Commissioner where the disbursement of those funds were made, and for the South Valley Corridor up to Lindsay, but we're up there next, and I know you guys are working on it. And so that was very interesting. I don't know if you read the recorder, but I do want to say this. I was interviewed on that same day by a young man at Granite Hills who had turned 18, and it was on the importance of voting. He did such an impeccable job in writing that link was shared, and his actual writing was put in the newspaper. I want to say kudos to him and for the Porterville Recorder giving him his credit for his story and that it was published, and he's going to be a good journalist.
He's going to be a superstar.
He's going to be a superstar. Okay, now with that being said, on October the 24th, there were the Tourism Summit. Claudia, thank you for all that work for that event. Mr. Ridenour and I journeyed over there to support Porterville, and you went far and beyond, and those that helped you to make that happen for Porterville and your participation. That evening, I attended the 24th Central California Family Crisis Center Domestic Violence Candlelight Vigil, and I want to thank the council members that attended. 24 years ago, I was able to be their very first keynote, and I will always support the venue regardless, to that effect. On October the 26th, I did attend the Veterans Homecoming Queen pageant, and congratulations to those. There's one each. They'll be coming to council. I know they do all the time, so we'll get to meet them, but I'll be seeing them at the parade. On October the 34th, I attended the 2024 Farm Worker Conference in Visalia. There is a lot of draw at that conference. There were over 12 to 1,300 in attendance. It brings people from across the valley, and Porterville was very well represented once again in the house. It took me 40 minutes just to go through all the vendors because it was crowded. And I left Claudia's name at each of those that were asking questions about the homelessness, the grant funding, housing, so just so that you know in case they start calling you. Then I know, I said, you need to call Claudia, she has all the answers. And on November the 1st, Kids to Dentists had a celebration and invited me. I was out there, and they had been there for a year, so they were celebrating that they are very grateful to the city of Porterville and that they're very happy to be here. November the 2nd, Comisión Honorífica Mexicana Americana, Día de los Muertos. It is a celebration, and it is very warm felt. Many of us were in attendance Porterville, and there's a video out there. The folkloric dance group, they performed, and then they asked community members to dance. Well, of course. The good thing is I let him lead. I let the young man lead. He knew what he was doing. Shh. It's not your oral communications, it's my other matters. Anyway, thank you very much for all you do. I'm trying to, who's got the, Mr. Trees got the time, okay? I'm trying, okay? I'm going to turn it over to Patrice. 7, we're almost there.
I just wanted to remind you that the police department will be having a swearing-in ceremony on Thursday morning at 8:30 over at the briefing room in the police department. So that's it.
That's it? Anybody else? Would you guys, Jason, you want to say anything?
So I have 23 minutes and 30 seconds of comment. Thank you, everybody, and have a good evening.
Okay, Mr. Bartow? Nothing? Okay. All right. By the way, that bread was delicious, Claudia. Just thought I'd let you know someone gave it up. Okay? With that being said, it is 7:39. Meeting is adjourned.